me just oh, okay. Giving a minute for to set up and stuff. Hello, everyone. I know it's been a really long time since I made any content across any of social media platforms that I used. Things have been a little crazy. I've recently moved to a new place. As you can see, I'm not in what used to be my usual setup, which is quite exciting. Not expecting there to be loads of people because I haven't done any streaming or content creation for a very, very long time. I have previously recorded a crochet video tutorial for my YouTube page, but unfortunately I'm having some issues with posting that due to limited internet access. So I will try and sort that out as soon as I can and get some more content up and running. Just checking on streaming platform. Oh, I have notifications. I've forgotten how to word. I haven't done this in so long. Yeah, it's good to be back. I don't know if we'll get any viewers joining in on the Twitch page, but I will try and upload it footage from this Twitch stream onto my YouTube page if I can. Not promising. Also don't know if this is going to work. You guys will actually be able to see this. So let me just quickly check that and then we can jump into the stream. Might get a couple of people in, hopefully. Don't know. I haven't done this in a really, really long time. Stream manager. Later. It's taking a minute for everything to like load up and stuff. Might get a couple of people in, maybe, maybe not. See. Okay, Twitch has changed their how do you okay. I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't think you guys can hear me well enough. I feel like I'm talking really, really quiet. So I'm gonna I just clip that into my hair. Plug in this little mic here. See if that makes the audio quality any better. Bear with me. Okay, hopefully you should be able to hear me a little better. Let's get into this. So I recently started making these crocheted popcorn coasters, which were really fun to make. I've got some of these on sale in the nook and cranny, if you know where that is. I've also started making these really cute little crochet bunnies. Unfortunately, I do not have one of them with me to show you because I took them into the shop so that I could sell them, but I have some parts of an unfinished one. So you have like these little legs, and there's 4 of those. Have like a little crocheted heart, which is a bit out of shape, a little bit, which I will be stitching into the rabbit when it's finished. And then we have the tail of the rabbit, which is really, really cute. Yeah. I'm gonna put these pieces to the side for a minute, because we don't need them right now. Right, what equipment do we have here? I've got my yarn needles, crochet hooks, scissors, tape measure, and a stitch marker. I have no idea what I'm doing. I think I'll start with one of the popcorn coasters. This little contraption is a yarn holder thingy, just magnetizes to the top there, works fine. I need to tidy this yarn up though, this has actually got pretty tangled, which I do not like the fact that that is tangled up. Trying to find the end here. Where is that end? Oh, there it is. There it is. No? Where is it? It's like... Oh. I don't even know if that's the right end anymore. Okay. Change of plan. We're gonna have to tidy this yarn up because I can't actually work out which is the right end to use. So I'm gonna connect that back up to that, and then I need to access this thing, which this is really fun, kind of. It's a useful tool that I find helpful to keep, called a yarn winder, for anyone who doesn't know crochet terminology, or anyone who doesn't know what it is. Basically, you just set it up like this and thread the yarn through here, and then you loop it over this, and then on this side it has like a little lever thing, and you just rotate that, and oh, well, it looks like that had 2 different ends because it was 2 different pieces of yarn. So what I'm going to do now is attach these 2 ends so that we can tidy this up. That's a really easy way to do that. You just wrap one bit of yarn around the other, but you tie that bit of yarn to itself so that it's wrapped around the other piece, and then you do that same thing with the other end. You want to make sure that a knot's quite tight, but you don't want it too tight because you need to be able to pull the longer strands, and then it'll make a knot, and then those 2 are joined together. and then you just cut off the little tail bits at the top. Yeah, I'm a little rusty because I haven't done any like streaming content or things like streaming content for Twitch or filming content for my YouTube page or other social media platforms for a very long time, and now it's starting to lag, probably because of poor connection. But I'm just gonna see how this works here, but sometimes it gets stuck. This one literally just holds the yarn so that the yarn will move with you as you work. This one just tidies the yarn up, so like when it gets all tangled or unraveled, you can use this one to fix it. It just stops it from being all like mangled. Yeah, it's quite noisy, so I do apologize. It is very, very noisy. Probably hear the mechanisms working, but you can see through doing this how this one is slowly shrinking and this one is gradually getting bigger. This might take a while. Oh! Oh! This one's gone a funny shape now. I am worried this might get a bit too big and like fall off of the thing though, so we might have to, I don't know, we might have to cut the yarn and go again. It's fine, because you could just cut it there, that side, and then do that. And then when you pull it loose, it's got like, it looks like a donut. I think the correct term for it is like a yarn cake, I think. I've been crocheting since I was 8, but I'm still learning a lot of different things. And then I'm just going to re-rig this up because this is bugging me with how tangled this got. Oh! Well, that's not supposed to happen, it just detached itself. It might be because the yarn got stuck. So I'm going to hold it here. Why is that? Why is it not working? Because you got stuck around there. Let's try that again. Sometimes things get in like a bit of a pickle and you have to like readjust stuff. But, oh, no, that's not the direction I wanted to go. There we go. See, sometimes you might have to like just guide it a little bit because it can get stuck. But it doesn't usually. It can happen, but it doesn't always happen. And then I'm just tidying this up. You can see it's become quite unraveled. I apologize because I know this is like really noisy. I can't work with yarn that's all tangled. I need it tidy. See, gradually tidying itself up. Oh, and when when that happens, you just readjust it. At this point, it's the yarn that's moving, not the thing. I'm literally just holding this so that it doesn't tip up at an angle. You can see how the yarn is maneuvering. This is gradually becoming quite unraveled. Now, at this point, this is just... I'm just going to hold it with my hand for now because I can see where this was originally wound, and it's gotten itself all in a pickle, so we're just depickling. Oh, that flew right out of my hand there. There we go. That is all of our yarn tidied back up. Oh, where's the centre? There it is. And then I can just detach this one from the table. Oh yeah, I have two different yarn winder holder mechanism thingies. The yarn winder, and then there's two different holders for it. Yeah. Oh. So there we go, that's all of our yarn tidied up so it's not getting tangled or mangled or whatever. I'm going to make a start on a popcorn coaster. This is a previous one that I did. This is the front side. You can see the different stitches and the details, and then on the back it's got like this spiral effect. I don't know why, but for some reason with this pattern that I've created, it keeps curling this edging underneath. I haven't figured out why it keeps doing that yet. It might have been because I did my stitches too tightly. Right, now I got it. Find the end again. There we go. That's always one of the tricky parts when it comes to getting started on one's work. And then we go in with this, and I've wrapped that a little too loosely. So I'm starting my project with a magic ring. Done. I'm going to take my finger out of that center, flip it over, and chain 2. I would love to try and stream like some games on Twitch. I just haven't figured out how I'm gonna do that yet. Sorry, that's something in my eye. But yeah, I know it's been ages since I did any streaming content. Double crochet, which I gotta do 12 double crochets into this magic ring on my second one now. If anyone is watching stream, feel free to say hello. appreciate you being here. I know there are people who think crochet is like boring or whatever they might think negatively about it, but I personally find it very therapeutic. It helps with regulating my mental and emotional state. It helps me to focus, and yeah, it's a skill that not everybody can do. And when you put your mind to it, it's actually pretty cool, the kind of things you can create whilst you're working with it. I just need to count the number of stitches I've done, because I've lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I think 6. I'm gonna go with 6, we're halfway there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 'Hello. Held message sent, smart distraction, will allow. Okay. I have just seen a message come through on the chat. But I don't know whether it's a real person or just one of the auto mod bot thingies that Twitch now has. I didn't know it had those before. Yeah. I lost count of my stitches again. It happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, lost it. Forgotten how to word stitch. 12. See, double crochets are a very easy, very basic stitch to do. They can be a little bit fiddly until you've like got practice of doing it. I'm gonna slip stitch. No? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. And then now I just need to put my crochet hook back into the first double crochet that I did and slip stitch to finish that last round and chain 2 to start the next round. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who's come in to watch the stream. Thank you for being here. I haven't done any content in a long time, as I've mentioned previously, because things have been manic, so I'm a little bit rusty and I have lost my confidence a little bit with it, but it's fine. I don't know if I will post this stream on my YouTube page, just because I'm not sure how I feel about it. I've been away from content for a really long time, and I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult getting back into streaming and content making and stuff when you haven't done it for so long. But I will try and get back into it because I have missed making content and sharing things I love doing with other people who enjoy similar things or are open to learning something new. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I haven't made or published any content in a really long time. I have, since I've moved into my new place, filmed a tutorial video for the popcorn coaster I'm currently making, but I have not, as of yet, been able to post said tutorial. For some reason, the editing software app thingy that I usually use to do so, I'm having some issues with downloading and or publishing my content that I've created, which is proving to be a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. Hopefully everything will sort itself out. I need to sort out a couple of things, but it'll be okay. I'm just gonna take everything one day at a time. One task at a time. I'm almost finishing the second row of my popcorn coaster. I can work up the actual coaster section pretty quickly. It's the detailed and the border bit of the coaster that I find to be a little tricky. So this is the back of the work so far, and then this is the front of the piece so far. Yeah, the next I just gotta work 2 double crochets into one space and then a double crochet into the next space, kind of a pattern. So like you're doing an increase and then you pass on to the next stitch and then you increase again. An increase stitch is fairly simple because you're just working 2 stitches into the same space. So like, say for example, if you were making a project and you were using single crochet and you wanted to increase the number of stitches, you would just do 2 single crochets into the same space. Same as like if you were working with double crochet, you would do 2 double crochets into the same place to increase the stitch. And you can also do that with trebles as well, most stitches. although there are some stitches you can do, like a popcorn stitch or a bubble stitch, which is essentially just a cluster of doubles or treble crochets together. Yeah. It's okay. We have been live for about 30 minutes now. I don't know. I don't know how well this is gonna work. I'm gonna get this coaster done, and then maybe we'll do something else. I don't know how long I should stream for today. It's fine. I'll probably do maybe an hour today, an hour a different day. But I don't know. Yeah. If you did want a tutorial for how to make the crocheted popcorn coaster that I'm currently making, I have filmed the tutorial video for this coaster, and it's all like edited and ready to be uploaded and stuff. I'm just having a bit of a difficult time getting it from my editing software up onto my YouTube page, but I will sort that out as soon as I can. The crocheted bunnies that I've been making, if you want to see a tutorial on that, you can go onto YouTube and search for crocheted bunny tutorial. I can't remember the name of the creator who did the tutorial, but I will try and tag a link to that person's video somewhere because they do a really great job with explaining the tutorial and showing you like how to make the crocheted bunny, and it's really easy to follow and it's really fun. You're just working with single crochets the whole time, and it's really simple because you essentially just crochet a square using only single crochets, and then you use sewing to stitch a triangle in the square, and then when you pull the ends, it pulls the square so that it folds. So the top half of the square becomes the head with the ears, and the bottom half of the square becomes the ears, the body, sorry. But I cannot take credit for creating the crocheted bunny because I did not design the pattern, I just followed the pattern that another creator made. And I think if you give it a try, you will really love it. I wish I had a finished crocheted bunny with me so that I could show you one of the ones I've made from the techniques that I learned in this other creator's tutorial. And I wish I could remember that person's name. I'm really bad at remembering names. They're a art slash like crochet influencer person on YouTube. They have loads of different things on their page, which if you enjoy crochet or artistic things I think you would really, really enjoy. I would definitely recommend going and checking out some of their content. If I could remember her name or their name, I don't know their pronouns. But yeah, if you're somebody who would like to try crochet and you don't really know what you're doing and you're not sure where to start, I can offer some advice from my page and my content, but if you have a look on YouTube, you will find loads of beginner-friendly crochet tutorials that I know you'll find really helpful. Some of them are a little bit more difficult to make sense of than others, especially because like not all crochet tutorials on YouTube are beginner friendly, because you've got intermediate, which is like, so you got beginner, intermediate, and then advanced in crochet. I'm not really sure where I'd put myself on that scale, because I still feel like a beginner crocheter because I can't make granny squares. Can't figure it out, stresses me out. I've made blankets, I've made all kinds of different coasters, I've made crocheted earrings, I've made jellyfish and turtles and frogs and crocheted rabbits and popcorn coaster. But it's interesting because there are so many different things you can make with crochet, and it takes a lot of focus and it takes a lot of patience, and it can be quite fiddly, especially if you're working with like slip stitches and chains, because there's not a lot of material to like hold on to, but you can do it. I think because not everyone can, or not everybody knows how to crochet, but everyone can try. It's a skill that's learned over time, and the more you practice, the more comfortable you become with it. Some people prefer knitting to crochet, and I know some people prefer crochet to knitting. I quite enjoy both knitting and crochet, but I personally feel like my skills and my knowledge in knitting isn't as good as my skills and my knowledge with crochet. I can confidently say that I can make more items and complete more crochet projects than I have with knitted projects. A while ago I was attempting to make this like knitted bag, and I got so far with it and I just kind of stopped. I was like, I can't do this. I got myself in a pickle. But I might, go back to it and try again another time. I think I'm on my 4th and final row of the green, and then after that, when I get to my last double crochet of this round, I'm gonna swap to a different color so that you can see on this one we have like the blue on the base, and then we have like a purple border with the single crochets around, and then the popcorn stitches with another row of single crochet. So right now we are working on this bit here that goes in the center. Sometimes when you're crocheting as well, like if you're like crocheting and somebody's trying to have a conversation with you, it's very, very easy to lose track of your stitches and what you were doing, because you can get like lost in the conversation and be like, go to do some more of your work and you kind of sit there and think, ooh, how many stitches have I done? What was I doing? It's easy to get like distracted or like carried away sometimes. Yeah, this is coming together quite nicely now. Ooh. Oh yeah, my yarn got stuck there for a second. I'm basically doing a pattern of 2 double crochets in the same space, and then after that I do 2 double crochets in separate spaces, and then I'm just repeating that all the way around. Yeah, all purposeful. No, I have seen your comment though, all underscore purpose. I cannot pronounce the rest of that. I don't know what that is. So yeah, I'm gonna I'm just gonna keep working on this. Oh, that's an increase. I'm worried I might have messed up on this one, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm normally quite like strict with myself on this. Like if I make a mistake and like mess up, I will go back and like frog it or like undo where I messed up and like redo it to like tidy it up. But I've made so many coasters over the course of my time crocheting, so sort of know what I'm doing. And it's very easy to like get distracted and make mistakes and stuff, but it's okay. I feel like my tension for this coaster is like a bit too loose. It could be, but if it's a looser tension, it might prevent it from curling so much at the ends. So give it a try. Yeah. I'm getting closer to the end of this row now, and then when I get to the last stitch of the row, I'm gonna change color. So I'll start the last double crochet of this row with this green color that I'm using right now, but I'll finish the last double crochet of this row with the new color that I'm going to use for the next row. the next row, instead of working with double crochets, I'm going to be working with single crochets. That could potentially be why the work keeps curling, because I'm doing double crochet for majority of the work and then switching to single crochet. Okay, so I'm now my last stitch in the row, so I'm going to wrap with my green yarn, go into the stitch and wrap with my green yarn again, and I'm going to wrap with the green yarn and pull through the first 2 stitches. So this is what we have so far. And then now I'm gonna I have a feeling this is gonna fall over. So what I'm gonna do now is cut the working yarn of my green yarn. Oh, what's going on with these scissors? And then I'm going to take that green yarn off of this yarn winder that I'm using and put it to one side. I'm going to take... Oh, what's going on here? This yellow yarn that I'd like to use and put that on my yarn holder and attach that up there. Then we're going to find the end, line that up with our work, and then I'm going to yarn over with the new colour and pull through the last 2 stitches. Now usually I slip stitch into the next space to finish the last row and then chain and do, you know, but I'm just gonna go straight in with a single crochet into that space. And now I've changed colour. So then I'm just gonna work 1 single crochet into each space and work all the way around. And as I'm doing that, I'm keeping my yarn tails tucked against my work. So as I crochet, I'm trapping these yarn tails within my work, which is helpful because it means I don't have to stitch them into the project to hide them at the end. Which makes that a little bit easier. This can get a little, I don't know. Oh. See how sometimes it gets stuck? You have to like unstick it. It could be a little bit annoying, but it is helpful normally. I hope everybody is having a good day. I appreciate everyone coming into the stream to sit with me. I'm gonna get something to eat when I get off stream. Yeah. Should be okay. I would love to get back into content making and getting new content and more content up. I just have not been able to do so. I haven't had the equipment that I need to do so. Which has been a little frustrating. Some of my... Oh, I see what it is. Some of my stitches I've done like too tightly, and then like other ones I've done really loosely. I don't get why that's happened, but oh well, sometimes it happens. As long as my work looks neat and tidy, it's okay. You can see where we're starting to work the color around now, which I think is really cool. Been live now for almost an hour. So yeah. Hope everyone's doing okay. I appreciate that it's been a long time since I did any content. I'm gonna finish this coaster and call it a day, I think. Oh. Oh. I thought I picked up a stitch then, and I didn't. Okay, so we're almost finished the first of our yellow round. Now the yellow round, there's only 3 rounds. There's the first round of the yellow and the last round of yellow are just single crochet. Just 1 single crochet into each space all the way around. But the second row of the yellow is where I put the popcorn stitches in, which can be a little bit tricky, be a bit fiddly. It's okay. We do have some nice natural lighting today though, which is nice. On the screen it looks like my kitchen area is really bright, but it's actually just my living room. It feels a little bit dull in here, but it's alright. I didn't want to turn the kitchen light on and like blind everybody. Almost finished this first row in yellow. As you can see, my tails are hidden into the back of my work. You can't see where they are, which is great, and this is what the front of the work is looking like. So we're getting there. I could just leave it with the yellow border around it, but I feel like that's a little bit boring. There we go. I think I am unfortunately gonna have to end the stream here though, because my stomach is telling me that I need to eat. So if you would like to see what the finished coaster looks like in these 2 colors, I'm afraid you're gonna have to wait until I'm able to post the tutorial video on my YouTube page. So yeah, I'm gonna go get something to eat, get something to drink. I hope you guys will do the same. Stay hydrated, make sure to eat something, take care of yourselves, and I will see you all next time, and thank